Well, this is my honest opinion about the Disney Channel on Disney XD channel specifically. For that channel, I honestly think that this is about Pokemon Sun and Moon, the new anime that's gonna be airing on Pokemon for Disney XD for that channel next year. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary for Disney to have a monopoly when it comes to cartoons, because I thought this country frowned on monopolies. I thought we weren't supposed to own multiple franchises. And something's gonna fall through the cracks. Honestly, when it comes to anime, Naruto was a staple for some reason for Disney XD, but they got rid of it within a month. Why would Cartoon Network give Pokemon to Disney XD when they can't even balance out their own franchises like Lab Rats or something like that? They can't even balance out their own lineups to save that network for teen adult kids for Disney XD. Honestly, why wouldn't Cartoon Network give Disney that franchise for Pokemon? Okay, I know it started out as from Warner Brothers WB, which I love that cartoon when it was back in the day for that channel. But when they stopped airing it on the WB, I was like, where did it go? And I soon discovered that it was on Cartoon Network after 2005 or something. But now that it's on Disney XD and it's owned by Disney, and my feelings about Disney, I don't like Pokemon to be on that network scale because they will just ruin it. The art style is already bad. The storyline for the video game is okay, but the art style is naturally bad. And honestly, they will just ruin that franchise to the ground because they can't even balance Yokai Watch. Honestly, I don't even watch that series, let alone that series. I don't watch Yokai Watch. I don't watch let's see, Star Yonder, whatever it's called. I don't watch 3 of those cartoons that they have on Disney XD. And when it comes to their original IPs, what Disney does well is if it actually belongs to them, if it's their own series, if they actually made it themselves. But when it comes to other franchises like this, like Star Wars, honestly, everybody gives Star Wars way too much credit now because it's owned by Disney. But honestly, in my honest opinion, I think it's crap. Like, everybody says they hated it. They hated Episode 1, Episode 2, and Episode 3. If they were real Star Wars fans, you know what they would say? I loved it. Which I did, honestly. For me, knowing that Pokemon is coming to Disney XD will not allow me to watch the Disney XD channel at all. It makes me kind of sad knowing that it's not going to be on Cartoon Network anymore. That was the only cartoon I actually watched on Cartoon Network, because Cartoon Network actually has crappy shows now. Let's see, what's Steven's Universe? Okay, that cartoon is for shit. I usually don't like saying stuff like that. Actually, I do like saying stuff like that. That stuff is crap out of Cartoon Network. That, like, honestly, Ben 10 was a good cartoon until they changed the animation style. But I watched it mainly for the story. But knowing that Pokemon is going to Disney XD makes me kind of sad. It's gonna end up like Naruto, where they're gonna have to find another network to actually support it, because Disney doesn't want it anymore. It's gonna fall through the cracks. Cartoon Network, I'm talking to you guys out there in Cartoon Network world. They have way too many franchises to begin with. Why would Cartoon Network give up on the only cartoon that people might watch on Saturday mornings? Now, it's not ethically or okay in my book. Disney can't even do Marvel right, man. In my opinion, what gives them it's already a juggernaut. It doesn't need to have a monopoly. I thought in this country we weren't supposed to have monopolies when it came to anything, for that matter. I thought we weren't supposed to take over 3 different franchises. What is this? They own Marvel. They own Marvel. They own Star Wars. They might as well own Square Enix based on how many Kingdom Hearts games they have. Honestly, I do not want to see. This is my honest opinion. I do not want to see Pokemon Sun and Moon on Disney XD, because they will just ruin that franchise to death, in my honest opinion. They've already, when it was on Naruto, they edited out so much of the actual blood and gore, or shall I say just animated blood, that they ruined that cartoon. And all you have to do for Cartoon Network is put it on a cartoon slot that people will actually watch, like Toonami. You're bringing Dragon Ball Super into that thing. Why don't you also do that for Pokemon? I'm talking to you, Cartoon Network. I mean, to save Pokemon, you're going to have to do that, because in order for me to actually want to enjoy watching Pokemon, you can't show cartoons like Steven's Universe or Gumball. What is that? Why? And honestly, to me, I love the original Teen Titans, but when it comes down to the new one, I think it's crap. And Disney will just destroy Pokemon. They won't save Pokemon, because look what happened to Naruto. in my honest opinion, I think what Cartoon Network has to do is actually move Pokemon and at the 10 o'clock time slots on Saturdays, and then show it again 5 days a week. Or they need to show a Cartoon Network time slot. I'm fine, dude. I'm just saying, knowing that Pokemon's coming to Disney XD makes me very upset, because Disney has a monopoly on practically every TV show. Cartoon Network, what are you guys doing over there? You guys showed cartoons like Steven's Universe and Teen Titans Go, and you tried to honestly, why would you reboot Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans again? Why? That doesn't make any sense. And honestly, I want to see Pokemon on either Cartoon Network or put it back on Channel 5, because that's the only networks that I will be willing to watch Pokemon on, because Disney themselves will actually destroy Pokemon, in my honest opinion, because they already have too many franchises to deal with. So please, if anybody's listening in Cartoon Network, at Cartoon Network, please do not sell it to Disney Channel. Do not sell it to Disney XD. Don't sell it to those guys, because they don't know what to do with it, because it's a franchise that's a staple of yours, or it's a staple. I honestly, just because if that ever happens, I'm probably gonna get rid of Disney XD just because of that. Because I don't want to watch Pokemon on the Disney mid-adult channel. I don't think it's right for the Disney Channel to own everything. What is going on in Cartoon Network world? In their brain, like, why are you selling the only show that people will watch now that it's gone? Or if you haven't already sold the rights to it, why even get rid of it? That's the only show I watch in Cartoon Network. I don't watch Steven's Universe. I do not watch regular show. I did not watch I barely watch Toonami, because they only show it once a week, because they don't show it 5 days a week. And I only watch about 2 shows on there. I've already finished Hunter x Hunter. I don't really need to watch it in English, but I do anyway, because it's Toonami. So I watch that. But will I watch Dragon Ball Super? Honestly, what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna find a way to tie it into GT, because that's the only ethical thing to do. And people say they know everything about Dragon Ball Super and they know what's gonna happen. They don't know. If they did know, they would think like I do. What's gonna end up happening for Dragon Ball Super is they're gonna have to have to tie it in with Dragon Ball GT. Because that's what's gonna end up happening. Because Pan is only, 2 years old? But that's off subject. But what I'm saying to Cartoon Network is you gotta keep Pokemon in that network because that's the only show people will watch. That's the only show I watch in the mornings at my DVR. And then I watch it like 5 or 6 times after my DVR. Or twice, at least twice, and figure out what I'm gonna watch next. But I don't watch cartoons until, 11 p.m. at night. Until Toonami's on. That's why I say put Toonami on 5 days a week. And your numbers will be fine because people will watch Toonami. They don't want to watch Gumball. I don't want to watch Gumball. I don't like Gumball. But I don't like Teen Titans Go. I like the original when it first came out when it was just Teen Titans. But now that that's added a go to it and the cartoon style is weird. Just like Pokemon Sun and Moon, I hate the art style for that. I honestly do. There's no dislike, there's only a hate for the art style for it. I do not like the art style, I hate the art style too. Because the art style makes it look ugly. Mr. Mime looks hideous. He doesn't even look like a Mr. Mime anymore. He looks like a guy with a... He looks like a mime with a weird crew cut. In my honest opinion. So I'm begging Cartoon Network, don't give it away to Disney XD because they're not gonna know what to do with it. Look what happened to Naruto. That's all I'm saying. You sold it to them and they gave it right back to you. So what's gonna happen? They're just gonna give it right back to you then. Because they're not gonna know what to do with it because they have too many franchises to deal with. They have Star Wars, they have Marvel. All my childhood is gone because Disney owns those franchises. They destroyed Iron Man. You want them to destroy my last bit of childhood left? Please, Cartoon Network, do not sell that Pokemon Sun and Moon to Disney XD. Do not sell it to Disney because that's the only shred of cartoon that I watch left in your network. It's not because it's on a bad time slot. It's because you guys don't show that many cartoons anymore. Decent, good cartoons anymore. That's your problem when it comes to that. That's all I'm saying. If people would stop thinking high praise of Disney, like I really don't. I think Disney needs to slow down and look at themselves and stop owning everything. Like, I wouldn't mind if they didn't ruin Iron Man. I don't mind. Honestly, they've already ruined that franchise for me. Iron Man was another part of my childhood that Disney ruined. But honestly, this is about Pokemon. Pokemon has been a staple on Channel 5 and on Cartoon Network for 15 years, and yet here we are. Now it's moving to another network, which I don't watch the Disney Channel for Pokemon. I don't even watch it for Beyblade. Let alone that. And I could talk about this for hours. But in this instance, I don't think it should be allowed that Disney owns Pokemon. They don't even... Honestly, Pokemon... Yokai Watch is the ripoff of Pokemon. What are they gonna save? I think they're gonna save Yokai before they save you guys. Honestly, Pokemon has been a staple for many years on Channel 5 since 2005. I would rather watch it on a network that I respect, which is Toonami. But even Toonami is only shown once a week. And how can people respect Cartoon Network when they only show Toonami once a week? How can they respect that? I remember when I first watched Cartoon Network for 24 hours straight when I was younger. I watched Zoids, I watched Rurouni Kenshin, I watched all that. I watched Pokemon. I even watched a couple of episodes of Samurai Jack too. But even now, knowing that Pokemon Moon and Sun are going to a network that I do not like to begin with, makes me not want to watch it. I already said to myself, based on what I saw out of the cartoon, I'm not going to watch it anyway. But now it's official. I will not be watching Disney XD just for Pokemon. I don't even watch Yokai Watch or Stars Evil or whatever, Masters of Evil or whatever it's called. I don't watch that dribble. And honestly, again, Disney owns too many franchises. I thought they were not supposed to have a monopoly in the universe. I thought businesses prohibited, or the government needs to prohibit this sale of Pokemon from ever happening and keep it on Cartoon Network. Because I thought the government was supposed to prohibit business sales like this. Look, they own 4 franchises and nobody's stopping them. This would be number 5 then. And Bakugan was a good show on Cartoon Network. Ben 10 was a good show on Cartoon Network. They were all great shows. But now that Disney owns Pokemon, or is going to own Pokemon, I'm not going to watch Pokemon. Because that's the only show that Cartoon Network has left that I watch. Knowing that Disney owns the right to the next season of Pokemon makes me pissed. It makes me pissed that that Cartoon Network sold out to the juggernaut which is called Disney. That is not ethically inclined. I thought businesses again, I will say this. I thought businesses were supposed to prevent... I thought the government was supposed to prevent franchises from multiplying into one company. What is this? Pokemon is now going to Disney XD? What is this? Disney owning 50% of everything. They own everything that I ever grew up with. I mean... And that makes me pissed. They don't even know, honestly, people say, I love the new Star Wars movie. I love the new Star Wars. Honestly, if you gave Star Wars Episode 1, Episode 2, and 3 a chance, they wouldn't hate the prequels as much. because I loved Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I loved it all, but when the new one came out, they forget about there would not be prequels if the originals weren't so good, weren't so fantastically good. I'm talking about multiple topics in one category. But now that Disney owns Star Wars 2, I'm not up to watch Star Wars anymore. I don't feel at ease when I look at Star Wars. I don't feel at peace when I watch Star Wars anymore, because knowing that they're owned by Disney now, I don't feel comfortable watching Star Wars anymore. I don't like Star Wars anymore because of that. I won't watch Pokemon because it's owned by Disney. Because it's going to Disney XD. If I was an owner of that kind of franchise, like a juggernaut like Pokemon, or like a staple of Pokemon, I would never sell it to Disney. Never. Under any circumstances. If I had enough money to do it, I would prohibit. No amount of money would allow me to sell it if I had that kind of love for something. Nothing. Which I still buy the games because I don't collect the cards, because the rarity of the cards are not important to me, and the design of the card is not good enough for me to actually buy it. And I could easily buy the card in a theme deck. You know how hard Pokemon was to collect back in the day? They were very hard and they were worth collecting. But now that they have it in booster packs, wait, let me rephrase that. In theme decks, I will not. Like Volcanion. Okay, I bought it in a theme deck. Okay, back in those days, it would be hard and worth it to collect Pokemon cards. Back in those days. Pokemon, to me, is the only cartoon that is sacred left for Cartoon Network. Sacred. It does not need to be on the Disney Channel, or Disney XD for that matter. It does not need to belong there, because look what happened to Naruto. Naruto got kicked off of Disney XD within a month. And I do not want to see Pokemon disappear in the shadow of its once greatness when it first started. It's been around for what, 20 years now. Let's see. Hold on. Where is my 3DS? Hold on, I got there's two. Let's see, where is my 3DS? Okay. Look at this. Guys, I have the 20th anniversary of Pokemon 3DS, because that's how much dedication I have to Pokemon. I'm dedicated to the games. And I have this one right here. The 15th anniversary of Pokemon. 20th? and 15th anniversary of both of that franchise being around for the games and for everything else. But I even have 2 Pikachus guarding my Pikachu 3DS. A Pikachu 3DS that I never even opened, and all that money going to the Pokemon company, and now it's going to the Disney Channel? Disney XD? Come on! Disney will end up giving it right back to Cartoon Network. So what I'm saying to everybody that's watching or going to watch this video, or if Cartoon Network's listening, do not sell it to Disney. Save yourself the trouble, because you had to buy Naruto right back from them. Save yourself the trouble and save Pokemon from being buried in the multitude of shows that Disney already owns that they will drop immediately. Cartoon Network, don't do this to yourselves. Do not be sellouts. Cartoon Network, I'm just telling you for your own sanity, for my sanity as well, that I'm not gonna hold back when it comes to this subject, because I cared for Pokemon as a kid. I've been watching it since I was 8 years old, and when it moved to Cartoon Network, I didn't know where it went because it was on Channel 5 for many years. But when I found out it moved to Cartoon Network, I was okay with that. But now that it's for going towards Disney XD, I will not be watching Pokemon ever until it comes back to either Toonami, because Toonami needs something besides Dragon Ball, Kai, and One Punch Man, and One Piece. They need Pokemon to be on Toonami, or they need to show Toonami 5 days a week to save Cartoon Network's ratings again. Because I used to, back in the day, I used to watch Zoids, Rurouni Kenshin, and all those great cartoons. But now that Cartoon Network doesn't show all that, the only reason why I got up in the morning was to watch Pokemon. The only reason. But now that that's gone, I will never get up again for Cartoon Network in the morning. I would rather go to the mall and explore, like just hang out in the mall. Now that knowing that Pokemon's gone from Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network, you need to do something very quick, because what's gonna end up happening, what's gonna end up happening for Pokemon is Disney XD won't have the time to support Pokemon, because they could barely support Yokai Watch, let alone Stars, Evils, and Masters of Universe, or whatever it's called. Pokemon needs to stay on Cartoon Network, because that's the only show that I will watch. And if I was an owner of that kind of franchise after 20 years, I would want to keep it sacred. I would rather sell it back to Warner Brothers and have it on Channel 5 again, rather than sell it to Disney if I had enough money and bought the rights to it. I would rather sell it to those guys rather than to Disney. Because Disney right now has a monopoly on everything. I thought companies and the government were supposed to stop monopolies from ever happening. Ever. Meaning, look, if somehow, some way, let's say, whatever reason, DC went to the Disney side of things, and now probably they have 5 franchises. Now, I thought the government was supposed to stop companies from picking up multiple franchises, like multiple of the same franchise, because I would have prohibited Disney from ever picking up Marvel. I would have prohibited them from picking up Pokemon if this was going down, which it's going down next year. And I would have prohibited that from ever happening for Star Wars too if I knew that it was going down. Because Disney owns a lot of stuff which they don't have any business being in anyway. Would Walt Disney want all these franchises? Probably not. Because he was more of a storyteller and he wouldn't want all these franchises colluding the pool. I hope you're listening, Cartoon Network, because this is about your only cartoon that I watch. This Pokemon is the last and only cartoon I watch. I don't watch Gumball. You know what I end up doing when Gumball's on? I end up going back to sleep because it's so boring. And in retrospect, I could talk about this forever when it comes to Pokemon, because that's how important this is to me. This franchise of Pokemon needs to stay on Cartoon Network. It cannot go anywhere else. It doesn't deserve to go anywhere else because it's all about integrity. And when I heard about this, I'm like, Disney is gonna own the rights to Pokemon? I was like, I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect, or I will try not to cuss, but I feel a cuss word coming out. So I'm gonna say it. Because I feel that it's important to actually say it in this case. Fuck. Because now I can't watch it anymore. Normally I do not cuss when I'm broadcasting because I don't think it's ethical. But in this case, I think it's normal because I'm very upset. Because when it comes to Pokemon or anything of importance to me, and I will cuss because I don't think it's right that Disney owns everything. I don't think it's necessary for Disney to own everything. I don't think Disney should own everything. And because it's Pokemon, so I'm very passionate about Pokemon, even though I didn't like the series of X and Y as much as everybody else did, but the art style was still there. The voice acting is somewhat lackluster, but because I'm used to the original cast of Johto and Kanto region, I'm used to those voice actors. And Pokemon Advance and all of that stuff. I'm used to the original first 3 seasons rather than this. But when I'm watching the Alola region, it doesn't feel right knowing that I didn't even know the Volcanion movie was gonna be on what Disney XD. That's how much I was waiting for that thing to come on Cartoon Network. Because that's what I'm used to now. Because that's what's a staple of mine. But knowing this is going to be a Pokemon Sun and Moon are going to be on Disney Channel, Disney XD, it just doesn't feel normal to me anymore. It doesn't even feel right. It's like a part of my soul is missing. Part of my love. Like let's say Pokemon is like a child, and my inner child is being ripped apart by Disney right now, because knowing that it's coming out for Disney Channel, Disney XD, makes me sad inside. It hurts my soul. It hurts my whole entire being. I can feel my insides breaking. But I'm talking to you, Cartoon Network, but I might have an audience listening to my voice right now when it comes to this. I'm mainly talking to you, Cartoon Network. Please do not sell this to the Disney Network in general, because this is the only show you have left that people will watch. I don't even want to. Honestly, the only other show I watch is not even on Disney XD. The only reason why I even have your network is because of what's that show? LBX. And it's not even part of the Disney XD franchise. That's the only reason why I have that channel even connected to my package, because of LBX. LBX is why Disney XD even exists in my package for cable. But on Nicktoons, that's why I have Disney XD. But do I really want Disney XD? No, I do not care for Disney XD. I don't think Pokemon should ever go there to begin with, and I can blab on for hours on end when it comes to this subject, because it's Pokemon. It's I have two 3DS's and two Pikachus because I love Pokemon so much. And because I don't want to trade with other people, because people always ask for stupid shinies. But on the matter at hand, I hope you're listening, Cartoon Network. Please do not sell this to Disney XD or Disney in general, because they don't deserve it. They won't know what to do with it, because they didn't know what to do with Naruto either. So why would you sell something that has been part of my childhood since I was 8 and 10 years old? Why would you do that? Why would you give away the last bit of human decency that I have left as an adult? Like, that's like, and I would still watch Pokemon. I still watch Pokemon because I don't watch Steven's Universe. I don't watch regular show. I I didn't watch even Adventure Time when it was on. So Pokemon is the only show I watch besides Toonami. So please, whoever could contact Cartoon Network needs to tell them not to sell it to Disney in general. Somebody needs to get a hold of them. If I knew their number, I would call them myself and go blab on about it for days on end. Do not sell it to Disney. Because if I had enough money to do it, I would buy Pokemon and keep it within what I feel comfortable with. I would actually take less money to keep it on Cartoon Network if I needed to, because Pokemon is that important to me as a human being, as the last essence of my childhood, man. Pokemon needs to be staying on Cartoon Network because I think it's okay on there. I think it's fine. I think it's the only show that I will watch left that is on Cartoon Network. I skip all the rest if Pokemon's not on. And will I like it on Disney XD? Hell no. Hell no. Because Disney owns too many franchises to begin with. Which, I don't know why the government didn't stop the sale of Star Wars from that going down. I don't know why they didn't stop Marvel from being sold to them either. When it comes to Pokemon, I'm very passionate because that's the only show I watch on Cartoon Network left. Only show. Let's see. I watch Hunter x Hunter on Toonami because I already watched it in Japanese, so I wanted to actually watch it because I wanted to hear the English version of it. So, but Pokemon is a franchise that doesn't need to be on Disney XD. So whoever's in charge of Cartoon Network or whoever owns that network needs to reconsider their options, because Pokemon is the only thing left that I watch on Cartoon Network. And that means a whole lot to me because that's the only show I watch left. And I feel so sad knowing that it's gonna be on Disney XD. It makes me so sad. Yeah. I feel that it's necessary for me to speak out like everybody else has. Honestly, I think Pokemon should actually stay on Cartoon Network as my final plea. And I will talk about this tomorrow too, when I'm doing my Pokemon video, when it comes down to Pokemon. Because I wasn't aware of Pokemon moving until I saw it 2 days ago on the section of Pokemon, I'm like, this is Disney Channel. This is Disney XD. What is this doing on Disney Channel section of that? Because I was waiting for the new season to be on Cartoon Network. That's what I'm used to, and that's what I'm going to stick with. But when it comes to I feel weird knowing that it's on not gonna be on Cartoon Network. I feel neglect. It's like it's like something you didn't tell your kids, and we're moving kids and you forgot to tell them why you're moving. It feels like that to me, because that's how important Pokemon is to me. Other than other stuff, but Pokemon is sacred. Pokemon needs to be staying at Cartoon Network, because that's the only show that's left that I will watch. And I will talk about this till nauseum if I need to get it through to everyone. I don't care. I will talk days on end about Pokemon when it comes to what's important to me. Especially about this, because you know why? Because when it comes down to Pokemon, Star Wars, and Marvel, these franchises didn't need to go to Disney at all. Period. That's what I think. Disney needs to stop trying to buy out franchises and come up with decent IPs because of their own fruition. Because Disney doesn't know what to do with their own franchises. That's why they need to buy out somebody else's and make it worse. So Disney needs to make their own IPs and stop buying out everybody else and then trying to say, we own everything. I thought government was supposed to stop things like this from ever happening. But no, I don't see that ever stopping. Especially for Pokemon. If I knew about this and I was working free and I was a government official, I would prohibit this sale from ever going down. Because that's how much importance that Pokemon is to me. I would stop the sale of Pokemon from ever going to Disney Channel, period. Or any Disney affiliated network, period. I would stop that immediately. I would stop that first for Marvel. I would stop that for even DC. And I know people say, why would you stop that? Because I know some people don't like DC, some people like Marvel. But for me, I like Superman. I don't like Batman, but I like Iron Man. So I think for me personally, that Pokemon needs to stay on Cartoon Network. It's just an appreciation that I have for it. It's like a girlfriend, and you are moving her because it's not because you don't love her. It's because something else is going down. That's what it feels like. You're moving a good thing, and because you're moving away or something like that. I'm just using that as an example, but it feels like that. You like, if I had to say, like, it's just like that. It's just the principle of the thing. I feel so sad knowing that Disney's gonna own own that franchise, and they shouldn't even own that franchise for Pokemon. Cause look at this. I bought this and this because I don't want to trade with anybody else when it comes to Pokemon, because everybody wants a stupid shiny. Because I don't really care for shinies, but I know people that do, so again, Pokemon is a way of life. Pokemon is a way of... And what's gonna end up happening is Disney's just gonna fuck it up, because they're gonna put shit all over Pokemon. Because that's how much importance that Pokemon means to me. That's why I'm saying all this stuff that I wouldn't normally say if I monetized this video of mine. But I will say this because it's very important to me, because I thought I thought government was supposed to stop things like this. That's why cell phone companies don't merge that much. What's so different about Marvel, DC, Pokemon, or anything for that matter? It should be the same thing. Why don't government stop businesses like that from ever colluding the pool? But no, the government only stops cell phone companies from ever merging. But honestly, I would never sell this to Disney. Never. Especially when it comes to Pokemon. Never. I think it's necessary for me to say these words because I'm very pissed. I think it's necessary for me to be pissed, and I'm very upset. That's why I'm cussing for the most part. And I normally cuss in this instance because I'm very pissed. It feels like I broke up with a girlfriend and she was very important to me, and now she's not around anymore because I didn't keep her happy. Well, that's what it feels like when it comes down to Pokemon. I feel so sad because Pokemon's not going to be on Cartoon Network anymore. I feel like something's gonna happen to it, and Disney's just gonna ruin it. And I don't care if I cussed in this video. I think it's necessary for me to say what I need to say because this deserves to be discussed about. I know other people who've YouTubed this, but I'm gonna actually say what I need to say, and if I end up cussing, I'm sorry, and that's the bottom line, because I'm very passionate about Pokemon. I've been playing the game for the last 20 years. I've been collecting the cards for at least 12 years, and yet Disney is owning the rights to Pokemon? Come on, Cartoon Network, what are you guys doing over there? If I had Cartoon Network's number right now, I would call them up and go, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to the only franchise that you have left that people will watch? Because I remember back in the day when it was 2001, I watched Zoids. I watched all the shows that Toonami ever had, because back in the day they didn't rely on dumb shows like Steven's Universe. I think that show is naturally dumb. I honestly do. When I watch it, at least in my opinion, I feel like I lost a couple brain cells when I even listened to it. But when it comes to Pokemon, because I'm very passionate about Pokemon, that's the only franchise I actually watch in the mornings. At 6:30 in the morning, I will get up in the morning and DVR it and watch it at least twice on my DVR. And my mom says, "You watched it again?" Yes, I watched it again because there's nothing else to watch. And I will watch it 16 times more if I needed to watch something that I needed to watch because I was bored. Because there's nothing else that Cartoon Network has that I watch until 11 p.m. at night. And yet, again, I thought the government was supposed to stop businesses like Disney from ever monopolizing TV shows, comic books, everything. I thought government was supposed to stop things like this from ever happening. But no, apparently they don't do nothing. Especially when it comes to this. Disney can't own Pokemon. They just can't. Because that will be the end of Pokemon. Because they already have Yokai Watch, and I don't even watch that garbage. I don't even watch, what's it called? Stars, Masters of Universe. I didn't even watch the stupid camp show that they have. Whatever. Lloyd's or whatever. I don't watch that garbage. But when it comes to Pokemon, I will always watch, with the exception of it being on Disney XD. I'm not even used to watching Beyblade on Disney XD. I'm used to watching it on Cartoon Network. When I first heard the announcement of Beyblade going to Cartoon Network, I'm like, Disney XD. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this? Why am I seeing Beyblade on Disney XD? Why? Why am I seeing this? Shouldn't it be on Cartoon Network on Saturday mornings or something? But nope, it's on Disney XD, which I find that kind of odd too. I watched Ben 10. I loved Ben 10 the first 5 seasons. I just didn't like the art style of what they did for the last season. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But the story was still there, so I watched it. But the Pokemon is sacred. You don't mess with Pokemon. You don't mess with... There's certain things you don't mess with Pokemon. You don't mess with the combat style, and you don't mess with the gyms, and especially the TV show. You don't change networks midstream. You don't change it's like why Cartoon Network you're dumping Pokemon for some other network girl? Like, why would you do that? That's what it feels like. Why would you do that? Why would you give up Pokemon for some other possibly worse cartoon than Pokemon? There is no other cartoon out there besides something else. I think it's a contract issue, but honestly, I would have actually, if I was an owner of a franchise, especially when it comes to Pokemon, Beyblade, or anything like that, I would never, ever sell it to Disney. Ever! if I had enough money to do it. I would never sell it to the anti-anime organization and who ruined Iron Man, who ruined my childhood, who ruined my love of Iron Man, who made Mandarin not Chinese but a Indian guy. I mean, which he should have been. I would have actually got Jet Li to play the Mandarin. I mean, he's actually Chinese. Or I would have actually wanted to see what Jackie Chan was doing that day if I couldn't get Jet Li. But I'm just saying, when it comes to Pokemon, again, do not, Cartoon Network, do not sell it to the Disney Channel. Where's your integrity? Where's your pride? Where's your cojones? And get Pokemon back on Cartoon Network. And if I'm speaking inappropriately, that's because I'm very passionate about this. When it comes to Pokemon, I may not like the anime as much now that it's just added too much stuff into it, like Mega Evolution and all that stuff, but I still love the original. I still love the old school Pokemon stuff. I'm still old enough to realize that Pokemon is sacred. You don't mess with that. You don't change it based on, you don't move it to a new network because you want more money. You don't, some things are just not worth moving in regards to, especially this. When it comes to Pokemon, that's the only show left that people will watch. That's why people tune in to watch Pokemon, because there's nothing left. Now, I just feel like, honestly, if it does actually somehow Disney gets ratings up for Pokemon, I will still not watch it because I have just to like, honestly, I watched the art style and I did not like it. I actually despise the artwork that they actually put for Ash. When I watched it. So I watched it online first because I was waiting for it to be on Cartoon Network, but nothing. No Cartoon Network in sight. Nothing. Nothing. No Cartoon Network. No announcement about Volcanion's movie. I was like wondering, where's the Volcanion movie? Where is it? Where is it? Nothing. But soon, again, I will say this again. When it comes to, when I saw that Pokemon sign on Disney XD, I'm like, what? Pokemon? Volcanion movie? I'm like, huh? Where? What the? I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is it? Why did Pokemon come out on Disney XD? Pokemon's not supposed to be there. I'm like, huh? This is odd. What? Volcanion's on Disney XD? What? And I thought, what I'm gonna continue saying, hell froze over when I saw that. My eyes were, my heart was crushed when I saw that. I felt so sad. I felt depressed. I felt like the world had ended. Because Pokemon is on the Disney XD section of my cable. But I will not. I will guarantee that I will not watch Pokemon on Disney Channel. I will purposely look. I don't even know what time. I don't even know what time Pokemon is on when it comes on Disney Channel, on the Disney XD website, because I don't want to watch Pokemon on Disney XD. I think it should stay on the principle on Cartoon Network, or they should move it back to the CW now. That will make me happy, because people don't have that much cable. People don't have that. That's why Pokemon should be localized, because people mostly have local television, and local TV makes more. Even though everybody says cable makes more money, nah, they spend more money. They don't make more money. They spend more money and lose a lot more money. And that's why people need to watch more channels, or people need higher ratings, because they're based on a cable network. But now people are so greedy that they need 700 billion people watching one show. That's the only way they'll be satisfied. That's what happened to Forever. And I love that show when it came on. And it still wasn't enough to keep it around. And I'm a Robin Williams fan too, and I love the Crazy Ones. I know this is off topic about Pokemon, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I was watching it every day on Thursday, but it still wasn't enough. CBS didn't try hard enough to actually keep it on. I think there should be a rule that companies who pick up another show should at least give it 2 seasons before giving up on the season entirely. Because look at Pure Genius. I'm using that as an example of Pokemon. You don't give up on Pokemon and give it to another network. You keep it within the confines. Cartoon Network's name is Cartoon Network. They don't call themselves Disney XD. They call themselves Cartoon Network, and that is supposed to mean something. You're supposed to actually show cartoons, Cartoon Network, but you show crappy cartoons besides Pokemon. Pokemon is the only thing left that people will watch. That I will watch. That I grew up with. But no! Pokemon is going to the other side of the tracks. Now there is no hope. You know the old saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi," from Star Wars. Well, well, I don't want Disney to help Pokemon. I don't think it's necessary for Pokemon to own that franchise, because they own Star Wars, they own Marvel, but nobody stopped that transaction from ever going through. Nobody did. I thought the government was supposed to stop monopolies from ever happening, period. I thought they were supposed to stop monopolies from ever existing, period. But no. Pokemon needs to be where it's at and stay on Cartoon Network and stay within the confines of the normal 47 of Cartoon Network. Channel 47, Cartoon Network, I'm calling you out. You call yourselves Cartoon Network, and yet you show crappy cartoons, but you only have Pokemon left. And what are you guys doing over there? Why are you selling that away? Why are you giving it to the franchise that doesn't know what to do with their own franchises? They didn't even know what to do with Naruto. Why are you giving that away? They won't even know what. And knowing that they have Beyblade now, they'll probably ditch that franchise too. They'll probably ditch it within a month if they're not picking up ratings. And I know I think I know what it's about. It's about contract negotiation, and that's why they will probably ditch Pokemon. But I thought, if I was a voice actor, I would never worry about my contract. I'm just gonna work and do whatever I need to do. I'm not gonna worry about money, because I thought voice actors were supposed to be passionate about what they do. I thought they loved what they did. But everybody goes, where's my money? If you love what you do, you don't ask for more money. You just do what you need to do. That's it. Like, I'm gonna feel like it's necessary for me to talk like this, because when it comes to Pokemon, I feel I'm losing something precious to Disney. No! The press is disappearing from my life. No! Well, I think that's enough for me today, because I gotta grab some chow. But I'll be back tomorrow, because I'm saying this to all the Cartoon Network fans out there. Do not allow this sale from ever going down. And why would you? I've heard some comments on their own stream, and they've said Cartoon Network's dead. Cartoon Network's dead because they don't show decent cartoons anymore, and Pokemon's the only thing left, and that's why they show it at 7 o'clock in the morning. And if you can't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're not a real Pokemon fan. I get up at on Saturday mornings at 6:30 p.m. and then doze off back to sleep if I can't get up in the morning. But I still watch Pokemon in the morning because I have it recorded twice. I watch it twice if I like the episode enough. As my last thought, I think it's for this subject matter. I'm sorry I cussed. I'm sorry I did all that, but it was necessary for me to get my voice heard. I think naturally that's how I talk anyway, but I tried to tone it down, but Pokemon's too important to tone down. And Disney XD will fuck up Pokemon. I think it's necessary for me to say this. I honestly hate Disney XD for taking over the Pokemon license. I think they'll ruin it, and then Cartoon Network's gonna have to buy it back for a higher price because Disney XD will be greedy and try to buy it, sell it back to them for double. that's all I'm gonna say. Well, I'll be back tomorrow playing Pokemon, or for at least a couple hours, and then I'll be back. And then I'll play Final Fantasy too, because as you know, Pokemon's not gonna be around in like maybe next year, so it's gonna be on the Disney XD channel, so I will prohibit myself from ever watching it, and that's gonna be it. Well, let's see.
Text to speech unavailable here. Text to speech unavailable here.